Hello, everybody. I'm Sylvia Leahu-Aluas. I'm the OSCE local organizer in Indianapolis, Indiana, United States, where it's very, very hot. And that reminds me that I need to work harder for an open source circular economy that hopefully will bend the current climate change trend. We are in the third day of 2016 OSCE days. There is a flurry of splendid activities all over the world on many, many topics, and we're very optimistic that at the end of our second season, we will have a lot of exceptional projects to continue long term and bring to fruition. I would like to start by thanking all our partners and sponsors, Renewable Freedom Foundation, Suez, iFixit, Philippa K, and all the participants and supporters throughout the world that help us make this season a very successful one. I am joined by another member of the global organizing team and a good friend, Sharon, who is in London. She is one of the local organizers in London. Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Sylvia. How are you? You can hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here in Reading, which is a commuter town outside of London itself. And we're in the midst of an urban mapping activity to map out the ecosystem and actors and stakeholders that potentially can play a role in a future circular system in Reading.
Wonderful. I know that you have many events throughout UK, from very hands-on to conceptual. You cover everything. There are many more cities than last year, which again proves that we're fulfilling our goals of expanding our community and our project. As we were talking before the broadcast, at the moment you can barely keep up with how many activities are happening all over the world. So we hope today we will be joined by other cities, so we'll be able to share their activities of today, but if not, we'll focus on what you're doing in Reading. So we can wait maybe for a few more minutes for others to join.
Yeah, and we have some of the Reading team here as well who will be able to join in a minute, Erica and Jan-Peter. Yeah, I know that some of the other London events, like the event in Cambridge and actually the event in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, is being organized by people who actually participated in the London event last year. So I think that really shows the strength of the community. And yeah, so who knows what this year's events will lead to next year.
To some real applications of open source circular economy, hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about our event in Indianapolis, which will take place on Monday. And I think it's particularly good because we will work with very young students, middle school and high school students, which I view as the generation who can really help sort out all the problems that we have created. And it's also a perfect time to open their minds to this concept before they are pulled in other directions, and maybe that will channel their passions and interest in this concept. We will do a lot of 3D printing with bio-based materials because we want to inspire them to think hard before they decide to use a certain material. and also before they just play with a new technology instead of thinking about making very useful stuff. We also want to explain as well as we can this connection between open source and circular economy, which I believe in general our group is still struggling to make it very, very clear. And we will see from the feedback after the event. By the way, just a reminder to everybody, please make sure you document your events and share it with us. This is the essence of what we do. This is what we mean by open source. Whatever you build, whatever conclusions you come up with, whatever questions you have, we would like to see them on the cloud and follow the instructions that Sam has written so well, because and then we'll be able to come up with a few fundamental projects that we can all work on until OSCEdays 2017.
Certainly, yeah. I wonder, Sylvia, if you give a bit of background to your own kind of how you came to OSCE.
Well, by accident. And really, I don't remember how I found you, but it wasn't completely by accident, because I work as a sustainable manufacturing consultant, and I also added circular economy as a much broader framework to work on. Hi, Stefan.
Hi. Sorry for the delay.
No problem. We just started a little early to make sure that everything works. Just a little bit of warning. It's super hot here in Indianapolis, and I might experience a power outage or a connection failure. Then Sharon, please pick it up from wherever I disappear. It rarely happens, but today it's really, really hot. So it is not only my work, but really my passion, sustainability in general, and the circular economy model in particular, which I view as one systemic solution to all the problems that we encounter, not only in the economy, but in society and in how we relate to the natural environment. So I think somehow searching for circular economy topics, I discovered you, and I'm very happy that I did, because I really believe that all the changes that we're making will happen bottom up, will happen at grassroots level. They will happen less by regulations, policies, corporate strategies. I think we are the change. And of course, I'm super delighted to meet all these extraordinary people all over the world and do my little contribution here in the Midwest.
Excellent. So, would you like to introduce yourself, Stefano?
Sure. So I'm at the moment in Florence. We are about to start our event here in Florence. Also here it's quite warm, but we do not expect any summer out there.
Benvenuti Firenze.
Grazie, benvenuti in Firenze. Yeah. And yes, so we are about to start our event. Since we are here based in the Impact Hub, which is, probably you know, international co-working space. We are based in the Impact Hub, but it's the local Fab Lab who is organizing this year the OSCEdays event. We are actually started to think about earlier this year about the event, what to do. We wanted to do, of course, sort of hackathon involving all the stakeholders here, interested people in the topic. The only problem was that we do so that we didn't have any stakeholder at the time we wanted to start the organization. Discussing with Lars in Berlin, we understood that we had to create the community here in Florence because the topic is quite new, and especially here in Italy, it's a bit difficult sometimes to introduce people to new concepts and new ideas. So our challenge was basically to start from scratch a network of people interested in the open source and in circular economy, and that's what we are trying to do today. So Stefano is Florence. I saw a question in the chat, and yes, so that's what we are trying to do.
Wonderful. Who else has? I see Franz from Vienna also joining us. Franz, would you like to introduce yourself briefly?
Yeah, hello. I'm, as you can see, just in my office hotel, and I moderated yesterday's session a little bit, emergency moderator. I'm working with Leopold, who is also here, visible on the Open Land Lab, and I think Leopold could introduce it today. It's a very interesting concept.
Hi, Leopold. Welcome to our group. We're happy that you're here and participating. Would you like to say a few words about you?
Okay, so I'm a friend of Franz Narada since a very long time. I'm the founder of Open Land Lab, which is a makerspace on the countryside, and together we try to create something what we call a smart country, because we think we not only need smart cities, we also need something on the countryside. I'm an open source evangelist. I'm working, my background is primarily technological, so I'm working with computers and software and hardware development since a very long time. I think that's enough for now.
Excellent. Well, speaking of open source, before we started the group call, we were just talking with Sharon that we're still having a hard time clarifying the mixing of open source and circular economy on one hand, and on the second is understanding better what open source hardware is. Because people understand quite easily and they're used to open source software, everybody is using it happily, but it's more difficult to explain open source hardware, to explain if this can really become a job that gets paid, or if it's just a hobby. We have wonderful examples where it works. One of our great partners and sponsors, iFixit, has made a business out of repair and opening up hardware, including very complex stuff. So it's not only tinkering with little things or with iPhone that everybody does, but tinkering with heavy equipment. And figuring out a way to repair things that are pretty much, that have some intellectual property protection. So if any of you wants to talk more about how we can make open source hardware much more clearer to our community and to the world at large. Franz, would you like to start?
Yeah, we have been thinking a lot about this subject in Austria, and it's really hard to define open source hardware. Actually, if you compare it to open source software, you have to have essential freedoms, but how does that relate to hardware when you have these additional obstacles to have, number one, the material, number two, the means of production? So we were coming up with the idea that we have a kind of gradual approach to what open hardware actually means. The first step to open hardware is, of course, you have something like a blueprint, an open design, something that you can copy, something that exists as a immaterial object, an information about production. But then again, you have the obstacle of, okay, where do I get the means of production from, and where do I get the materials from? So I think a definition of open hardware needs to take into account these two very crucial additional elements. And number one, the materials. Number two, the means of production. So, it creates like a chain of arguments. Yeah, you have to have a way to freely or at low cost access materials, which of course points to the circular economy subject, and you have to have also the sovereignty over the means of production, which is the full open hardware definition as we see it. I'm very curious what others say about that subject. Thank you.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think exactly what we're doing will help in that regard, at least in what regards new products, new processes, new ways of using materials or even creating materials, are these makers communities, which are going to work from the very beginning in an open source fashion. But the question is, how do we solve existing products and structures that are very much tied to a closed source model? So it's a matter of how we're going to make the transition from the old to the new model, and how are we going to scale it up so that it really becomes the mainstream. It is at the same time, it is an extraordinary, exciting challenge, right? Because again, the makers communities can now do their own thing, share it gladly, and not depend on existing structures. Before we continue the conversation, I would like to welcome the Cambridge team and the Bogota team in Colombia. We're very happy to see you. We have now London, Florence, Vienna, Indianapolis on the call, so a very symbolic group for our community. Before we continue the conversation, maybe Cambridge, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Great. Sorry, I'm Sega Robinson. I know some people on this call. Hello. I have set up this event rather short notice. We're currently running a challenge. We're actually doing it in series rather than parallel. So in the morning we tackled a reuse app, which I've got a very, very basic prototype going, and what we're trying to do is try to take it the next day so I can take it to a funder. And we've been working on that. And then right now we're talking about how we can incentivize the pay-as-you-go model for solar appliances, because there's a lack of standardization, but what are the things that we need to tweak? So Chris Muller, who sponsored the project, has taken us through a detailed matrix of what he's considered, and we're trying to now look at the areas where there is currently a lack of incentive for suppliers to provide into this this world, because that's kind of one of the inhibiting factors to make it work. So that's what we're tackling now. We might disrupt the group in a bit and come and say hi, but at the moment it's just us.
Yeah.
I hope that was the right type of intro. I missed the beginning of the call, sorry.
Yeah. By the way, I'm Lisa. I'm the local reporters at Cambridge for today's event. And I think we'll come back with the group and obviously.
Yeah, they're mid-discussion, so
yeah.
We'll probably send a couple of people up during them to listen in.
Super.
Should we put ourselves on mute again?
Yes, please. And I forgot to mention that as a general rule, because of the way Google Hangout works, it's best when you don't speak to mute your phones. I mean, that's a technical issue for Google Hangouts. So before we let Leopold talk about open source hardware, I would like Bogota to introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Ricardo Rugeles from Bogota, part of the organization of the event in Bogota for second year. We are very excited to see the growth that the event have taken globally. And as during the last year in Bogota has generated an incredible interest in activities of this subject and how the community want to talk about other issues apart from those which were developed last year, that we are talking about food topics at most. But this year we want to open to other topics, technology and know-how of the people and how to create communities thanks to that theme. So sorry for the interruption, and well, we can continue.
No, it's not at all an interruption. We're very happy to have you and all of you. So we were talking about the difficulty of explaining and also building the concept and practice of open source hardware. So Leopold wanted to continue on this topic.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that there's the Open Source Hardware Association. I don't know if everybody is familiar with it, and they were working on the definition of open hardware. I think it's the second version out now, and Lars Zimmermann from Berlin, he made the German translation on it, and for me it's quite good enough to work with on open hardware. I think there will be evolution like on other legal issues like the Creative Commons things. So it's a start, and for me it's not the most important point for now. But I would like to know how all the others see this these definitions. Is it enough for you?
Sorry, I was muted. Stefano or anybody else wants to continue the conversation on open source hardware?
Yeah, sorry, Sharon, go ahead.
No, feel free to, and I can give my thoughts in a minute.
Yep. No, also because our event is now starting, so I might have to leave the call and go there attending and helping the others. I really believe that the definition was proposed. It's really, really good working definition. Of course, there is, at least in my opinion, a quite long way and a lot of work to really implement this definition. But what I can add is that we are trying to propose our example more than definition of open source hardware. And here in a few minutes there will be a person who is going to present a system to monitor the air quality, which was developed fully, completely open source. And it was a collaboration between some organization based here in the Florence area, the Fab Lab Barcelona in Spain, and also the local Fab Lab here in Florence. So I'm really looking forward to see and to listen to his experience and to his definition of idea. And of course, I will pitch in with the working question we are trying to answer now, and I will be happy to come back to you and get back to you with some more hands-on experience.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So we'll let you go to the real work of working on open source circular economy. Maybe you can join some of the future calls, and definitely please share with us on our forum the results of your project.
Sure, of course. Thank you very much.
Grazie.
Ciao, grazie.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Just a little organizational thing. So Sharon, there are others who are waiting to join the call and they can't.
Rio de Janeiro should be online in 10 minutes, and they are keen to share what they're doing with the London team. So there's some people from London here who I'll let join in a minute and present the event. Yeah, so in 10 we can switch.
Okay. Then who is ready to go and talk about their today's event, Cambridge? Or not yet?
Can I say something about the definition?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it's quite focused on physical artifacts. Is that right? Yeah, I realize it's about hardware, but for me, part of the problem with the circular economy conversation is that it's too focused on actually the product. So I don't have a solution, but it's just a comment and a thought. And I think for me, what the open source methodology actually brings is this kind of stretching who can be involved in the conversation about circular economy, because I think it's quite dominated by businesses and firms, but when you bring in this collaboration aspect, then it opens it up, and yeah, so that's my thoughts.
It's very true. Circular economy, whether it's open source or not, it's about processes, it's about structures, it's about relationships. However, us narrow-minded engineers really have to think about something real. But in the end, it's also a matter of processes and organization, because if you adopt open source hardware in the way you make products, you also expand that in the structure of your business. And it can happen both ways, right? One can be the driver, one can be the consequence. But the truth is that we are very much surrounded by products, and it is products that have caused the way we make them, the way we consume them, that have caused so many problems. So maybe it's a good idea to start at that level. But again, I might have my narrow-minded engineering point of view on this.
Okay.
Oh, have we lost Franz?
Franz, he said he would step out and make space for some of the other local reporters. And Sego will join back in a minute as well. He's just gone, but he's keen to step back in when Rio de Janeiro join. So I don't know whether what you're going to do next. Do we want to hear from Bogota again?
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say something about some problems of the open hardware. Here in Colombia, one of the problems we have then first develop most hardware has been cost and the access to products. The high cost and the difficulty to agree to century pieces makes people have to adapt by themselves, no? And in a country like Colombia with an internal conflict, the people have to adapt it almost always looking to do something much cheaper. For example, in this time, we want to develop one project that create parts with 3D printing from recycling to people to want to know to have to use prosthetics because maybe a lost leg or a hand in our conflict. So pay hundreds or thousands of dollars for a piece is difficult for people from the country, and they have to do something to access to this technology. We want to maybe with recycling materials, maybe with new materials more cheapest, but the thing is we want to create a community with universities, with producers, with people that want to make something open to everybody. If we have this open technology, every people everywhere can adapt and create their own objects, their own prosthetic to do something more for the community than maybe for an exchange of money, no?
So you know that one of the main challenges that we have is bio-based materials. So I would be curious if you will explore bio-based materials for prosthetics. And even 3D printing of prosthetics, which is already taking place, but maybe we can do it in an open source fashion. But you are right, a lot of these new models are driven by necessity, not only by passion or wanting to do something new or to have control on things. Is really driven by necessity. And in a way, it's a prelude to all the scarcity that we will experience as we are imposing these changes on the planet that have a negative impact on us. So, as they say, necessity is a mother of all creation. I think that's one venue through which open source hardware and open source in general will become mainstream. Just to let you know, Cambridge has stepped away for a few minutes. They will come back. We're also waiting for Rio de Janeiro to join us, and also for the rest of the London team to talk. Erica, the other member of our global organizing team, who is a local organizer in, here she is. Hi, Erica. So she is joining us right now, and she will tell us about what they're doing today in Reading.
Sharon's not already dead. Okay, yeah, so today we actually took advantage of in a small kind of town, but fairly large, outside London, about 25 minutes on the train. There's a local green fest going on with local communities and networks and other types of charity organisations, and a water fest. It's based on the Thames and a River Kennet coming down, so they've got a lot of culture of canal boats and other things to do with the water here. What we've done is encouraged people out from London to take advantage and come with kind of open minds, ears, eyes, looking at kind of circular, possibly related activities and things going on here, like repair cafes, Reading bike kitchen, other types of stuff, or recycling systems, and looking at historical facts as well. So we're kind of doing an offline map on like actual maps, not on phones and not on things like that. And then we're going to come together and put it on a big map before translating it later. We've just been looking at what type of possible mapping open source type platform would be nice to have as something that Reading and the groups can actually take forward and develop themselves. So if anyone's got like mapping recommendations of those types of platforms, that would be really interesting as well.
Wonderful. So anybody has any ideas on what the best low-tech mapping tools there are? Oh,
but we've oh, hello.
Well, we lost the Bogota feed. I hope he'll come back.
I was going to say, one that we've come across is called UMap, and it's based on OpenStreetMap, and then you can put some layers on it about different types of initiatives and write details about it. So right now that's looking like one that we might use to then put it online later.
Perfect. I don't know, Erica, if you could hear our conversation. We were talking about the difficulty of defining open source hardware, and also linking open source with circular economy. Definitely, it's easy to explain that open source means collaboration and free exchange of knowledge. But I find it more difficult, and I think others too, to explain how this will operate in the world of business.
Yeah, most definitely. I think there's an interesting aspect in Reading that there's quite a few, from being originally a industrial town with a lot of manufacturing in the past, from bricks and biscuits and things like that. All of the manufacturing kind of left from physical, and right now it's got a lot of really big business parks with the Oracle based here, their headquarters, or UK headquarters at least, and Microsoft, and so it moved from that kind of physical product aspect to being a lot of data and online tools as well. So there is understanding, particularly from I suppose, tech and the IT side, about that open source aspect. But what you see is that there's less on circular economy, and the two and the environmental, they haven't really linked together to use each other's skills, which I suppose this is a really nice conversation starter as well when you start to map those types of opportunities across that way.
Ricardo, you dropped off for a few seconds, and we were wondering if you have any ideas, any suggestions for Erica and the team on how to build a map low tech.
So can you repeat the idea? A map for?
So we're looking, I suppose, at, well, it's quite open at first, almost like exploring, observing, talking to people in and around Reading and the different activities. There's a green festival on, so there's a lot of types of people with a lot of knowledge in sustainability and environmental things, from recycling and reuse to global justice, Friends of the Earth, Greenpeace as well. So what kinds of things are happening in and around Reading, that when you look at them and you step back and look maybe from a circular lens, you start to see those relationships or possibilities, or the things that go on between. So we're kind of mapping stories, mapping locations that are maybe putting on repair cafes, ones that are repairing bicycles. So there's this kind of thing of mapping both the stories, but also locations where there's circular related activities happening as well. So today, I mean, it's been more offline, like just walking around with little paper maps and things, and logging what we learn and hear and see, and then it's about translating that paper version onto a web online open version that could then be built upon further. So we've been like looking at different options for that. I mean, it's OpenStreetMap, and then there seems to be different types of map tools that can make it more presentable and attractive and usable for people to add their data as well. So yeah, if anyone's got any experience of doing this.
Yeah, Leopold is asking on the chat, what kind of software are you using? I suppose you'll post the link on the forum under your event, and also post the questions. So Leopold, please go to the forum and watch for questions on mapping or networking software.
Yeah. So we've posted the challenge, and it's, if you probably search for open mapping, you'll find that. And I just followed a link actually from Berlin last year. They did a kind of an urban mapping challenge, and via that there's an open document that recommended or has a few different ones. So we were just checking out one called UMap, that's based on top of OpenStreetMap. So that was a tentative possibility. Yeah. Yeah. Well, what about some of the other cities? I missed out on going on. We're working on it. So, what was the main focus in Bogota? Oh.
Sorry. Well, first for continuing with your idea, one of the problems that I see from the eco design and the systemic design for the create the connection and the use of information and can be open to others is the way the people use and the way the people transfer this in a good way. The idea is that then maybe only with work with the trust of a community is very difficult. One of the problem also is the great quantity of information and how to traduce this information to simple words for everyone. So
yeah.
I think maybe with a software or there was a way we use the systemic design for create the models to work, but the problem is in the connection between the people and the information. So for example, here we want to create a tool to connect local producers or farmers with the consumer in the city, in the biggest cities. So because they told that the biggest problem they have is how to say and how to expose their product and the traditional way of their productions, so the people can know about that and see how this product is good, how this producer is a good producer, but they can't find a good way to create this connection of this information. So one of the challenge we have this year is to develop this tool, not only with publicity, not only with software, maybe application for your cell phone, but something that like has to be real, has to be with the people, no, not only the technology, and this is one of our challenge here. Maybe you have some idea also to connect this, to create this.
The connections there. I suppose, yeah, it's that online, offline kind of aspect and getting that engagement and trust with the community there as well. I mean, I live here now as well, and a lot of the people I've been getting to know over the last few months and finding out what would actually be useful and how could it be done. But originally we were going to have a stall and possibly a big mat so people could really interact with it in a place, but we couldn't get that all organised in time, so we're kind of out and about on the ground and on the street. But I think it's almost about making sure that nothing's pushed too much, but almost setting quite a loose foundation, and starting that and being inclusive, and then making sure that those real users are involved in the development of it as well.
If you don't mind, I would like to pass the mic to Stefano, who is ready to start the event, and he would like to show us the beginning of the event in Florence, Italy. And continue the conversation.
Yes, actually, I'm speaking a bit quiet because the event is already started. Just wanted to show you the venue and the start of the event, which is here. I hope you managed to see it. So we actually expected around 20 people, which is what we got actually. So we are quite happy since we started from nothing. Yes, and just wanted to show you and to share with you our event.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and good luck with the event. I hope you will all enjoy it, and then we look forward to to seeing the pictures and the documents, so that we can all learn from what you did today in Florence. All right. I think first let's welcome Lucas from Rio de Janeiro.
Hello, everyone.
To join us. So, if you would like to introduce yourself and the event in Rio de Janeiro.
All right. Can everyone hear me okay? Because I have in the background here, I have a current speaker going. Is everything okay? Yeah. All right. So I'd like to take a little bit around the venue first. This is the first time Rio takes part in an OSCEdays event. And right now we just started here in a place called the Museum of Tomorrow. It's one of the areas, the new areas of the Rio de Janeiro city, built for the Olympics. Here we're in the museum. This is a lab for the museum. I'll just show a little bit around. We have this screen set up for later for one of the talks. And right now we have a speaker. Let me see if I can get it. Right here. So with the Forum for the Future in London, so far it's amazing. Yesterday we had a little bit of local Brazilians that are doing some work with mainly solid waste. Okay. And for our challenges, I just got a little bit to read a little bit about challenges, and we now have a lot of solid waste challenges, mostly how to engage the community and in recycling and separating trash, because Turin is different from a lot of cultures, mainly European ones. We don't have the culture of separating our trash. Everything is still very much mixed, and that poses a big challenge for us. We have a huge problem with trash disposal and collection. And that's one of the main challenges that was given to us yesterday. The other one, we have a brand new Fab Lab here in Rio, and we really like to listen to other experiences in other Fab Labs, so we'll be connecting later to other Fab Labs around the world to know what they are up to, what they've been doing, and how Rio can integrate that. Also from the Fab Lab, they have a big challenge ahead of them because they have a lot of materials that are put to waste, and we really would like to know what to do with these materials. So that's another thing. Also, let me see if I can remember, there were some other challenges. We have the trash engagement. I need to take a quick look here. But these are the main challenges. There are some challenges still yet to be given to the public that haven't been announced. But later today, I believe in 2 hours' time, the people will be able to sit down in groups that they pick and try to... Oh, sorry, I'm a bit loud here. So, and we'll be able to start their challenges. And unfortunately, we only have one day, which is today. So we'll be doing a brief thing. We'll be probably doing a short report on the challenge, and we hope that the results are satisfactory and that people can grow with knowledge. Right now, we would like to connect to people that have a lot of challenges involving mainly waste, and cities that have experienced a lot of waste disposal problems and recycling, and we'd like to talk to them. So if you guys have similar projects, I would really like to connect later on to you so that we can learn a little bit about what you're doing there.
Ya. Encontré. Listo.
Sylvia? Was it okay? Did you guys get to listen to me? Yeah? All right.
Yo no escucho nada, se bloqueó.
Just a second, welcome, We'll pass you in a few minutes.
Cuelgo.
If you cannot find the mic, I can mute you and then unmute you in a few seconds. Go ahead, Lucas.
I think. Okay, I will try. My name is Natalie. I don't know if you can watch me or no. I don't know if the webcam is working. Hello.
Yeah, well, there is a lot of background noise in Torino, so we're having a hard time hearing you.
Wait, I will find another place.
Okay. In the meantime, if you could mute your mic,
Now here.
it would be great. Okay, I muted the mic for Torino for a few seconds. So you want to continue, Lucas?
Okay, yeah, I just unmuted the mic. So, again, like I was saying, most of our challenges involve a lot of the waste disposal system, efficient ways to do it. We know a lot of European countries have been through similar problems or undergoing similar problems, and we really like to know how you guys managed to overcome them. Was it policy? Was it technology? What aided you mainly? And we have this small group. I believe we have around, now that talk's over, we have about 30 people. Hang on a second. I'll just ask them to say hi for you.
Thank you.
Pessoal, quero dar um alô aqui. Eu estou no Global Reporter. Só dar um oi pro pessoal aqui ao redor do mundo. Estou com outros 6 países aqui. So, right now, I'm speaking to Bogota, Torino. I'm not really sure about all the rest. So can you guys tell me where everyone's from? Sylvia?
Yeah, Cambridge.
Cambridge?
Florence, Italy. Reading,
Florence?
United Kingdom.
I'm sorry, where?
Indianapolis, Indiana. Vienna,
Indiana?
Austria.
Nice. So I believe a lot of different places. Yeah. And later I believe they'll be connecting to you, right?
I'm sorry?
Later we probably can try to get people to connect and talk a little bit about mainly the problems I just talked to you about.
Yeah, so make sure that you post all your questions on the forum. As you have noticed, people are more than happy to answer and help everybody out. And also don't forget to document your event and then share it with the community. That is very important.
Okay, perfect. And also a little doubt about the questions that we'll be posing. They'll mainly come from our participants, right? They'll be throwing us questions. I'll post in the forum, and in real time or not, we'll be getting different answers, right? Okay, perfect. Just so we'll know a little bit how the OSCEdays work, because it's our first time here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Great.
So you will see that the community worldwide is very involved. We very much like to help.
Okay. Yeah, I lost a little bit there.
All right, so I think Cambridge is also waiting to introduce themselves. Hello, Cambridge team, if you would like to let us know what you're working on today.
Hello. Sorry, could you repeat that? Let you know what?
If you would like to let us know what you're working on today and show us your team and the participants in it.
I missed the last bit, but oh yeah, so they're all people around me. We've actually we've done two challenges today.
Aqui, o Instituto Superact trouxe, por exemplo, um pouco no Rio de Janeiro, vai fazer pouco, a gente sabe que...
Can we mute? Thank you. Sorry, so yeah, so we've tackled two challenges in series today. One is a reuse app that I got a very basic prototype for. So we've been talking about what that the users could be, how it could progress as an app, and who would use it and how. And then I guess the next step would be to do a full kind of user stories and all the kind of elements that will be given to a developer to finalize the app. So that was one, and that we spent in the morning. And then this afternoon we've been talking about I guess the best way to incentivize pay-as-you-go service model for solar appliances. So how do we go and incentivize the elements that are not so favorable to suppliers and think about ways to make that a reality? Because at the moment there's a lot of, I guess, the capital approach where people have to buy equipment. But those are the two main challenges. We do have a third, which we might tackle, but we might not. So we'll decide. It's pretty relaxed and flexible group here, so we're having a lot of fun. That's about it. Anything else to add?
Wonderful. Just a reminder that this is not the end of our work on open source circular economy. So while we have this very intense week once per year, please remember to continue working on the project and on the new challenges. Like you mentioned, you might not get to the third one, but don't leave it open. Continue to work on it and engage with the community. And Lucas, I don't know if you saw Sharon's response in the chat room. You can already connect with them on what to do with waste and how to put back in circulation all kind of waste streams. I think Torino is also ready to introduce themselves. Let me see. Give me a second to unmute Torino.
Okay. Hello, can you see people in Turin? Yes. Hello, OSCEdays Berlin. How are you? We are here in an activity right now talking about circular economy. We just had Silvia Barbero, who is doing a project in Europe about systemic design and circular economy. And right now, the next talk about circular economy in a social mode.
Yeah.
And probably from the graph, right so far we are here in Turin, and this is the people assisting to our event.
Wonderful. We can see that there are a lot of people engaged in the event in Torino.
Yeah, for the first it's the first time we do it in Turin, and well, so far we have been doing well, and we had a lot of requests presenting just 2 days. The only problem with the schedule, we have a very short time from 3 to 6 today, and also tomorrow from 3 to 6. Later we're going to have a vocabulary about circular economy. It's going to be very interesting, and it's going to be done for 5 people who do different works regarding circular economy.
Wonderful. Just a reminder, don't forget to document your event in Torino and everywhere. and share it with us after the event, because that is essential to our community. That is the essence of what we call open source, that we collaborate intensely and share all the knowledge that we gain through these events. Also, as I was telling Lucas, post your questions, your problems on the forum. There will always be somebody who will have an answer or find an answer for you. Oh, give me a second. For some reason, I cannot unmute. Sorry. Oh, okay. Can you try to unmute your mic?
Okay.
All right, perfect.
Right. I couldn't hear your question. If you made one, if you did it, can you repeat, please?
I was just asking you not to not forget to document everything you work at the event, and then share it with the community on the forum. You will see instructions on how to post all the pictures that you take, all the objects that you make, and whatever you document, to post it on the forum. If you have any difficulties with that, please ask one of us to help you. It is very important that this knowledge doesn't dissipate or doesn't stay only in the local places where it's being developed, but it's shared with the global community, which is very much one of the goals of our open source circular economy community. I think we've been talking double the time that is usually allocated for this event. So I'm afraid I will have to thank you all and let you go to work. Unless anybody else want, Lucas, you want to say something before we close? Lucas, you want to unmute your mic?
Sorry, can I say something first?
Oh, sure, Ricardo.
Okay, I just want to add that the activity that is taking place in Turin this time is also going to be performed with other city in Colombia, and also they want to connect this activity with our activity to discuss issues about mobility and the application of their experience and the develop they have and to adapt here in one city that is called Bucaramanga, that for first time want to create a space for bikes, for bicycles, and other actors of mobility. So we want to connect their experience and the way that maybe they can develop this and create our base in they were talking about.
Yeah, so here is a perfect connection that we just made between two OSCE teams. Lucas, I think you also want to say something before we close.
To join us in our main room projector, so she can talk a little bit about the story of OSCEdays, since it's a brand new event here. We have a lot of excited people already divided into work groups. Soon I will be telling you guys exactly what activities they are tackling. Right now they're getting ready. I'll just show a little bit if you want me to go a little bit around the guys. That's all. Just say hi if you want to. Hi. because these are our work groups. They're getting started here. They're already starting to discuss. There's another table. Guys, sobre o que é o projeto de vocês? Just say a little bit about what's the project you guys are tackling right now. Vocês sabem?
The influence of the designer and the development and communication of recyclable products.
Right. Pessoal, alguém quer falar um pouquinho para eles o que a gente está fazendo aqui agora? Qual é o projeto de vocês? Want to say a little bit?
Hello, everybody. We are now discussing how to turn our industrial pools into circular pools. So we are discussing how we can exchange the residues of each facility and how these companies can collaborate in an industrial district.
All right, just the last group here. Pessoal, desculpa interromper, mas fala um pouquinho para o pessoal aqui sobre o que é o nosso projeto aqui. In English.
In English?
Yeah. So what are we doing here right now?
We are talking about Fab Labs and the impacts of the residues.
Residue, yeah, waste.
The rest of the products that the Fab Lab can produce.
Were you guys able to get everything he said? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah? Did you guys manage to listen okay?
With some background noise, but I think in the end on the recording it will be a little clearer. That's my experience with Google Hangout.
All right, great. So like I said, we have a lot of waste is our big issue here. We'll be tackling that, and we hope we can connect some of you guys. Eric, I'm ready. I'll talk a little bit to you here via Skype, and we'd like to get you through to the main screen over here so that you can talk a little bit to us. And if you guys, anyone want to contribute with any waste solutions, also like you said, industrial, said food, but how to connect different industries and get them to work together to form a circular community. If anyone has any insights and would like to connect to our main screen, you're welcome. Just let me know via Skype or here in Hangout, and I'll be glad to connect you guys here in our main screen so you can share a little bit about your experience with us.
Absolutely. Thank you. Again, I'm afraid I need to close this call, although it's fascinating and it's very exciting to be with so many places. I think this was the first call that was so well attended, Sharon. Am I wrong?
Hello?
No, that's correct. Yeah. Yeah.
So we finally found our pace as we're getting into our third day of events. Good luck, everybody, with all the events, and don't forget to share everything. Yeah, I think Sharon, you want to speak a little bit more about what you're doing in Reading. If anybody wants to drop off, you're welcome to. If not, let's hang on and see what Reading is doing today.
Maybe you can.
Well, yeah, I can introduce you. Okay, I'm Gian Pietro, and I'm one of the OSCEdays organizers this year for London and Reading. Okay, yesterday we started our conversation, our reflection about OSCEdays in talking about circular spaces. So, because a lot of people who enjoyed the event didn't really know why there was the connection between circular economy and open sources. So we really reflect about what are actually the photography at the moment of the present in general, about what is actually the connection between it. So, and we reflected about that connection in general related to space and in London. Today we are doing an exercise of mapping, or real mapping. So so people now at the moment are around, like the other people, about other people, 10 people that are they're joined today, and they're like mapping around during the green. Here in Reading, there is the Waterfest and the Green Fest, and we are actually mapping, and we are going around the city of Reading just to find like what are connected to sustainability, circular economy, and open sources. And today was actually the perfect day to meet. In the next few days, through the connection we are making today, we are going to contact the other companies, and we will be able to put everything on an open source map. So what actually we are actually is doing, like we are mapping for the first time all the connection between open source, circular economy, sustainability in Reading. Tomorrow, instead, we do. So, any question about it? Any suggestion or any kind? We already like find like the possibility of using UMap and OpenStreetMaps. But if you, in the next few days, anybody want to, in some ways, like suggesting us what we can, other kind of ways of mapping in internet, would be amazing. Because at the moment we can just ask like some collaboration also from other hotspots, and that maybe knows more internet maps more than us. But and tomorrow we are gonna do a future search compressed workshop, and we are gonna think about it like in the circular city. So we are gonna try to do an open letter to the new mayor, Sadiq Khan, and suggest him like selecting like from 25 topics we are gonna relate it to like the world of industry, but also the world of like actually the city. And we're gonna do a reflection on a future reflection on London 2036, and we are gonna write all together a kind of roadmap of possible tangible solution and tangible ideas that like in different sector and especially the government can do, how to facilitate the development of open sources and circular economy solution for the city. And yeah, so it will be quite at the moment it's still scary, but it will be quite interesting to see what is gonna go out from the people tomorrow. Tomorrow will be more and 5 hours of workshop, so it will be very intense, and I will push the group to work hard, very hard, but yeah, it will be quite fascinating. Hopefully, and yeah, but I mean, in the last few hours, I mean, in the last 2 days, I've seen that, you know, how all like the global hotspot are really working hard to develop new ideas and new product, and I'm quite, you know, I was surprised last year, this year, you know, for all this year, but you know, I'm quite impressed of like all the development, and I'm so happy that, you know, all the hotspots are really working hard. So thank you very much.
Just a reminder that among other things, we have this mentorship program, and one of the mentors this year is an expert in circular cities. She's from the Netherlands.
Okay.
So,
okay.
And also one of the main challenges this year for many teams is circular cities. So I know that in Romania, they were also focusing on circular cities, but yeah, a lot of people are wondering about that. In the end, how we can bring it to scale, to a larger community that is complex, but also can really make this model work. I think the new mayor already works with the mayor of Paris, who is also very dedicated to making Paris a circular city. I don't know how much she knows about open source, but definitely there is work. So I think, and there are a lot of events in France this year. So yeah, this is how we will do it. through this collaboration, advising us, but really look at the mentor programs, become mentors yourselves. We really need that after the event. So people who have deep knowledge of a certain question that we have can answer and help the rest of the community.
Yeah, yeah, that's the key. Absolutely, absolutely. Otherwise, it will be like restarting from zero next year, and you know that's a pity, because with so many projects that we are going, you know, that are going on here at the moment, it will be like really a waste to join the mentorship project. Thank you.
All right. I think we're really ready to close. I'm sad, but we have to do that. So we'll see you all in our next call. So remember, there are calls every 12 hours. So the next one will be again at 9 p.m. My time, Eastern time in the United States, so that we can also capture people in Asia, people in Australia. So please join all the calls, even if you are not in the middle of an event, so you can exchange questions with the other organizers and participants. And good luck with your events. Let's do some great work. Bye-bye, everybody.
Much.